And I signed a deal with this company up here in New York, and I was so psyched. I was just psyched just to come to New York, like they're gonna get me a hotel room in New York. I'm gonna stay on the island, And so I was psyched about that, and I signed this deal, and they were like, John, we're gonna send you out to LA. And you're going to come back to New York and have some more meetings and stuff like that. And as a musician, you never anticipate having meetings ever. And so all of a sudden, I'm having meetings, and I'm flying out to LA. And to a kid from Indiana, these are exotic places. This is like going to Disney World and Disneyland, back and forth. And so I'm really excited about all this stuff. And so they fly me out to LA for the first time. And I'm going out there to do some writing with some other writers, And, they send me, info on these people that I'm going to be spending my day with. It's just going to be the two of us in a room writing songs, And so they sent me some background info. And these people are written like the hits, These are like hit factories in human form. And so I'm a little intimidated, but I'm more excited. And so I fly into LA, and first day I go to my first writing session with somebody, and he lives up in the hills, like Beverly Hills. It's like he's got this huge mansion, and I walk in, we start writing. You pretty much just introduce each other, and then you start spitting out love letter lines, stuff like that. It can be a little awkward, but so he starts like spouting out these lines, and we're like halfway into a song, and I haven't even got my like ancient laptop out of my bag, And so it's day one, and I'm already feeling like way out of my league, I can't keep up with this guy. And, he's got all these platinum records all over his wall, and so I'm looking at all the platinum records, and like, it's LA, so the sun is shining in, and like flashing in my eyes off of the platinum records, And so, first day, I'm miserable, So I leave finally at the end of the session, and I call my A&R guy at my label up here in New York, and I'm like, hey man, I pretty much hate this. I know I'm supposed to be here for like 3 more weeks doing nothing but this, but I kind of just want to go home. Is it cool if I just go home, And he's like, oh man, that's too bad. No. You're not going to go home. We've rented you this Pontiac Sunfire for 3 weeks, so you're going to drive your Pontiac Sunfire the whole 3 weeks to write your songs. And, he's like, just, tough it out. Do this one for me. So I did the whole trip, but after that first day, it was such a rough day, and I only knew one person in all of LA at the time. And so I went over to my friend's house, and we were going to go to dinner. And he had a guitar out on his porch, and so I was waiting for him to get ready, and so I was sitting out on his porch, and I ironically just started playing this guitar and writing this song that just kind of came out. And this song was exactly just that one moment in time in my life where I had spent my whole life in Indiana just dreaming about this exact moment, being out in LA and fresh off a plane from New York, all that stuff. That's exactly what I wanted, And I was 2 minutes into it and really hating it, And so at the time, I really just wanted to get back on a plane, fly back to Indiana, and just pretend that I was okay with giving up, And so, so I'll let the song speak for itself. This is a song called Indiana.
live next to the water, so I could never get used to the beach. I'm glad I never grew up on a mountain to figure out how high the world could reach. I love the miles between me and the city. I quietly imagine every street. I'm glad I'm only picturing the moment, and I'm glad she never fell in love with me. For some the world's a treasure to discover, and your scenery should never stay the same. But they're trading in their dreams for explanations, calling an attempt to entertain. I love the miles between me and the city. I quietly imagine every street. I'm glad I'm only picturing the moment, and I'm glad she never fell in love with me. And the trick of love is to never let it find you. It's easy to get over missing out, and I know the heart and winds, but now and then she's all I think about. I wonder how it feels to be famous. I wonder is as far as I would go, 'cause I'd probably lose myself in all the pictures and end up being someone